Hey y'all, I'm back. For a brief moment. If you read the caption, this is about how I deal when things go wrong. Because just because I live this spiritual life, just because I do readings, just because I'm connected, just because all that stuff, does not mean that things don't pop off in my life that really make me feel some kind of way. Of course, the goal is to get to the point where I am in the middle way, where nothing sways me one way or the other. But at this moment, when I feel, when motherfuckers cross me, when people mistaken my love, life, spirit, and truth for sucker shit, I have to go within, because this doesn't feel good. When I feel this way, it doesn't feel good. And so that's actually, if you notice at the end of my last live, I got a text message, and it kind of threw me in a spiral. No, I'm not even going to claim that, because it didn't throw me in a spiral. Because unless I told you, y'all probably didn't even notice. But I had to handle up on some things. And first and foremost, always find clarification. Before we allow ourselves to get all worked up, to accuse somebody of something, to step to somebody. Because one thing we are also about when it comes to this spiritual life is standing in truth. So if you're anything like me, when people do shady things, when people lie, it hits you even more. Because it's like, that's not what we're doing in 2018. In 2018, we're trying to be of love and life and spirit and truth. And we're trying to get, in balance. That's my entire thing. So first and foremost, it's finding out, hey, let me check my energy so that I'm not cussing somebody out or blaming somebody for something that maybe I didn't hear right, maybe I didn't see right, or maybe it wasn't malicious, maybe it was just we're from two different perspectives. So that's first. And then second is, not even second. Because along with that, the way you get to that point is by grounding. Literally by grounding. So again, I'm in my home. I'm dealing with some stuff. I go straight to my plants. I was talking about juicing this earlier today. I was like, oh my gosh, my beet juice. That's a root vegetable. It's red. That's that red chakra, that getting down into the earth. I pulled a card. I even was like, what am I supposed to do? Because when I'm a huge energy, like I'm like the electricity walking through the walls, right? And this body is the light bulb. And sometimes if I get swayed, whether too happy or too sad or angry or something, it's like there's an electrical surge and shit blows up. And sometimes it does affect my electronics. Sometimes it does affect the things around me. But it affects my body. Because I can feel my cortisol levels being raised. And I can feel like my skin starts to boil. And it's literally like I can feel my spirit. And so the first thing, I was like, I have to sit down. And again, this has been the best thing. One of the number one things I'm going to recommend is create a specific sacred space for yourself, a meditation space, not necessarily an altar space, because you need to be able to sit there. Because every time I put it somewhere where I can see it, because now it's not just a thought, and it's like, I need to sit outside, I need to sit down, I need to touch the trees, I need to touch the grass or the floor. I literally look and I see the chair, and it's like, welcome, come Amora, you know what you need to do. So that's literally the only reason, I gotta get my cushion for my little seat. That's the only reason why I even came on this live, because I pulled a card. That was the great part. I knew what I had to do, but I pulled a card, and I was like, what am I supposed to do? And the card was go outside. The card was literally go outside. And when I did that, I was like, I already knew it. I knew it. And so I did. I came outside, and then I was like, I'm sitting here. My feet are on the ground. I have my cards over here. I'm with my plants that I planted. These are all my babies. And that one has 3 babies growing. I'm so proud. But I'm sitting here, and I couldn't even close my eyes. But I'm doing my grounding. I don't know if you've seen any of the grounding things that I do, but that's another thing that we can talk about. But I get on my grounding space, And then I was like, juice. I have beets. That first chakra, so these are different ways. Again, there's a million different ways to ground. There's a million different ways to imagine it. There's a ways to do it physically. But that was what came to me. It was literally sit your behind down, take your shoes off, go outside, just sit, because the energy has to go somewhere. What happens is we get triggered. So I was triggered. Something poked and it has to do, somebody trying to steal my stuff. Like, it poked my innards, right? And so when we get triggered and it pokes your innards, then you create like a, ah! I didn't scream, but it was an energetic, ah! And so when you get that energetic, ah, you can bust a light bulb, you can bust your brain, but you can release, I could just release the energy in the house, and then I'll pick it up later and it'll be a nonsensical situation. Or I could gather all of the distractions, push them aside, sit my behind down, drink my juice, connect to the source, rely on God to take care of it, and let it go. Of course, I will. So as I was sitting here, I then was getting the directive to send an email. This is not something, because I was like, I need to call her and we need to have a conversation. I will explain. But Spirit was like, you need to send an email, because number one, an email can be read over and over again to make sure that you get the point. And then number two, I am good with words. Oh, yes. So getting my thoughts together, gathering myself, doing what I know is specifically setting boundaries. Not telling anybody about themselves, not this, that, and the other, but literally like, hey, you crossed a boundary. And I'm very protective of my boundaries, and I'm very, I know where my boundaries are. And so I'm not one to necessarily have to fight over them. No, you crossed it. I'm not okay with it. Do what you will. And then the rest of it I leave to God, because I'm not one like, you crossed my line, so you gonna get yours. Or you crossed my line, so now I got to send you some shit. And then, no. These are my boundaries. You crossed them. You can fix it or not, but I leave it up to God. And usually, my mom always told me growing up, she said, Amora, learn your lessons now, because you don't want life to teach you, or you don't want God to teach you, or you don't want the universe to teach you, like whatever it is. I feel like we are given opportunities to live righteous lives. You don't have to be in a religion. You don't have to be in a religion to live a righteous life, to be a righteous person. You don't have to be trained to be a good person. Bad people can have children that are givers and lovers and upright citizens. And then amazing people can have children that are just downright evil. And that's because we all have our own compass. And so my compass tells me, Amora, set your boundaries. Be bold. Man, that card from this morning, what did it say? It said be bold, right? And I told you I pulled that card twice, right? Be bold. So the first thing and this is how readings can help, because sometimes it may not make sense in the moment, but this is how it can definitely help. It said be bold. So while I'm getting this information and it's processing, and I'm like, I gotta just, because my first thought is, what's of love? What's of peace? You know, just do I let it go? It's too late. I can't handle it. Whatever. And what that card said was like, nah, little girl, be bold. So, okay, put on my big girl drawers. So let's have conversations. Let's talk as adults as to how this happened, how you plan to rectify it. And if not, by all means, let go and let God. Vaya con Dios. Go with God. That's what they say out here. Vaya con Dios. Vaya con Dios. I'm cool with that. Go with God. Because I know I will. I know I will. And so I'm going to open my juice. Hold on. You guys can get right here. Oh, that is a dope-ass shot. Isn't that cool? That's artsy as all get out. So this is When it rains, I always come out here naked and I just be like, thank you for the rain. Because it just rains on me. And what else? So that's it. I just wanted to say that as I drink my red beet juice and smile and know that all will be divine. And what did that last card say? My prayers are already taken care of. My prayers are already taken care of. God, the universe, whoever it is, whatever it is that you pray to or you believe is in control or manages, creates all this stuff, knew that I was going to be feeling that way before I even felt that way. So what happened? I was prepared, right? I already had this in my refrigerator. I didn't have to go juice my stuff. I was prepared. Oh my gosh. I feel like it's going right down to my root chakra. Why? Because I'm intending it for it to do that. When you get to the point where you are in control of your mind, and you are in, it doesn't have to be 100% control, because sometimes I still, like I said, I have thoughts of, Amor, you can't do that, and, you know, things like that, and that's not, I'm not managing all of those thoughts, but when you get to the point where you are managing the most of them, or at least you notice when they come in, you can override certain things of the body and allow the body to feel the energy that you experience. For instance, when I eat foods and drink foods, I feel them throughout my entire body. I don't know if it's because I've practiced it that way. I don't know if it's because I've raised my vibration to the point where I'm so sensitive to everything. Like I told you, clothes itch. I'm like, why is it touching my skin? I'm telling you, I'm going to turn right on back into original woman. I'm going to, if I become a breatharian, it was not by my own will. No, I'm not going to say that. By my own desire. Because if I do it, then it is of my own will. Because I stand in my free will. But it was not something I wanted to do from the jump. Alright, guys. Thanks for stopping by. That's what happens. Everything in the toilet is red, too. Alright, I'm gonna meditate again. Just to clear last bit of energy. I appreciate y'all for coming by. Brush this stuff off my teeth. Besos.